Welcome to Q&A, Social Security Disability Today. This program is brought to you by the Reeves Law Firm, representing you and your Social Security and disability needs. If you have a problem or questions regarding Social Security and disability, call attorney Anthony Reeves. Is your host, attorney Anthony Reeves.
For purposes of mental health, why is it so important for me to take medication? Okay. This is going to sound like I'm being condescending and being stank or disrespectful, or whatever word you want to see, or trifling, whatever word you want to use, so please don't take it the wrong way. You bear the burden of proving you're disabled. If you're telling the federal government that your condition limits you from being able to perform in the national economy based on your mental health, depending on what it is, we're not talking about something like memory that may be caused from a traumatic brain injury or from seizures or something like that. We're talking about the normal garden variety depression, anxiety, PTSD, bipolar. One of the things they're going to ask you is, are you getting treatment? Now, they're going to look carefully at the type of treatment that you're receiving, because typically in a mental health arena, and this is where it gets tough, the medication that you're taking is usually a good indication of the severity of your condition, as well as what your records say in your treating notes. I'll be the first to tell you, because I've had a number of clients with mental health conditions who will sit there and say, I don't want to take the medication. I don't think I should. And this is what I tell them. And this is what I will tell you. Has your doctor said that you don't, has your doctor prescribed that you don't need medication? If the answer to that is yes, if the doctor doesn't prescribe it and looking at their notes, it appears from their notes that, you've got a normal effect, your anxiety and depression are within limits, guess what Social Security is going to say? Your mental health condition is not that bad. If they determine that you need to stop, if they tell you that you shouldn't stop and you don't stop and you stop on your own, you're being non-compliant. Now, this gets a little tricky. If the non-compliance is based on the medical condition itself, Social Security might cut you some slack. Now, you're probably sitting there saying, Attorney Reeves, you just talked in a complete circle. Follow me when I say this. The long story, in plain and simple, is you're not a doctor, so you need to follow what your doctor tells you to say, tells you to do. If your doctor says you don't need medication, it's probably an indication that your mental health condition is not as bad as you think it is. And it's not trying to be stank, but I'm just telling you, when looking at the medical records, especially in the mental health arena, medications is a fairly common phenomenon. Medications and therapy. So if you've got a doctor that says that with therapy alone you should be fine, and the evidence, and I just want you to know this, because I don't want you to think that I'm saying that you don't have problems still if you're off the medications and the doctor takes you off. It all goes to, what does the doctor say about your condition? If the doctor puts in their notes that you're within limits, that you have a normal effect, and that there's no problems, then Social Security is going to assume that your condition is not that bad. Now, if you choose to take yourself off the medication, they've got to take a greater inquiry, because they've got to ask the question, did you take yourself off the medication because of the nature of your mental health condition, you don't fully realize the impact of taking yourself off the medication? And when I see these conditions, I'm thinking more of the psychotic disorders, your schizophrenia, schizoaffective disorder, things like that. And then the court has to then decide, should you be penalized because your mental health condition prevents you from fully appreciating that you need to be on the medication? That's one example. However, if the court deems that you not taking your medication has nothing to do with your mental impairment as a whole, they may say your condition is not that bad if you don't feel like you need medication. See what I mean? And again, I know I'm sitting here and it's a circle and you're like, okay, Attorney Reeves, you are making my head spin. Just know this. For purposes of mental health, follow what your doctor, mental health and anything, follow what your doctor is saying. Trust me, it is so much easier to argue to the court with Social Security that you're taking medication and it's not working than trying to explain to a judge why, when you're supposed to be taking something that you have chosen to decide to not take it on your own. Those arguments are never fun or never sexy, so don't put yourself in those situations.